It's an ordinary morning in one of the richest towns in the Roman Empire. The bakers are lighting their ovens, the baths are filling. 20,000 people are going about their day. By this time tomorrow, almost every one of them will be dead, and their entire city will vanish from the face of the earth for nearly 1,700 years. This is the last day of Pompeii. Pompeii was a jewel on the Bay of Naples, a wealthy resort town where rich Romans came to escape the city. It had paved streets, running water, theatres, bathhouses, bakeries, and bars on every corner. Its walls are still covered in graffiti, election slogans, insults, declarations of love. It was loud, crowded, alive, and it sat in the shadow of a mountain, a green, fertile mountain covered in vineyards. The people of Pompeii did not know it was a volcano. In fact, they had no word for volcano at all. To them, it was just a mountain. Its name was Vesuvius. There had been a warning. 17 years earlier, a powerful earthquake had shaken the region and damaged much of the town. But the Romans simply rebuilt, grander than before. They had no way of knowing that the tremors were the mountain waking up. In the days before the end, strange things began to happen. Small earthquakes rattled the town, but earthquakes were common here and people ignored them. Wells and springs mysteriously dried up. Animals grew restless, and then, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the mountain tore itself apart. Vesuvius erupted with the force of many atomic bombs. It blasted a column of ash, rock and gas over 20 miles into the sky. A young Roman named Pliny watched from across the bay and wrote it down. He said, "The cloud rose like a great pine tree branching out at the top." It is the only eyewitness account we have, and it is why we still call eruptions like this Plinian today. Within hours, the sky over Pompeii went black. Day became night, and then it began to rain stone. Light, porous pumice fell from the sky, first like hail, then in a relentless downpour. It piled up in the streets, foot after foot. Roofs groaned under the weight and began to collapse, crushing those who had stayed inside, hoping to wait it out. Some people fled, clutching their valuables, stumbling through the darkness with pillows tied to their heads to shield them from the falling rock. Others hid in cellars and back rooms, and that decision would kill them, because the worst was still to come. After midnight, the towering column could no longer hold itself up. It collapsed. And when it fell, it sent something far deadlier racing down the mountain. A pyroclastic surge. A boiling avalanche of ash and gas, hotter than 500 degrees, moving at over 100 miles an hour. The first surges struck the nearby town of Herculaneum, killing everyone in an instant. Then they came for Pompeii. There was no outrunning it, no hiding from it. The heat was so intense, it killed in less than a second. The people of Pompeii died exactly where they stood, and the ash buried them where they fell. When it was over, Pompeii was gone, buried under up to 20 feet of volcanic ash. So completely erased that in time people forgot it had ever existed. Grass grew over it. Farmers planted fields above the rooftops. For nearly 17 centuries, one of the great cities of Rome simply slept beneath the ground. And then, in 1748, they found it. Diggers struck the top of a buried wall and uncovered a city frozen in a single moment of time. Loaves of bread still in the ovens, paintings still bright on the walls, and in the ash, strange, hollow spaces. When archaeologists filled them with plaster, they realized what they were. The bodies of the dead. A mother shielding her child, a man covering his face, a dog still chained to a wall, captured in their final breath 2,000 years ago. Pompeii died in a single afternoon, but in dying, it became immortal. the most perfectly preserved window into the ancient world we will ever have. There are other cities the Earth has swallowed whole. Next time, we'll uncover another. Subscribe and step back into the buried world.